She announced, "I'm going to my ex's wedding as his special guest." I said, "Have a great time." Then I RSVP'd as someone else's plus one. The look on her face when she saw who I brought as my date made the whole room go silent. I, 28 male, am sitting in my car outside a wedding venue, hands still shaking a bit from what just went down. My girlfriend Sloane, 26, is inside having a complete meltdown. And honestly, good. 2 weeks ago, Sloane drops this bomb on me over dinner. We've been together 3 years, living together for 1. So, Tristan's wedding is next Saturday. Tristan, your ex? Yeah, he wants me there, as his special guest. Special guest? He says I'm the reason he knows what love really is. He wants me to give a speech about our relationship and how it helped him grow. I literally put my fork down. He wants you to give a speech at his wedding about your relationship with him. It's beautiful if you think about it, shows real maturity. His fiancée, Ivy, is totally cool with it. Are you serious right now? Don't be insecure. We dated for 4 years. We're still close friends. This is important to him. And you're going? Of course I'm going. He asked me specifically. I already bought a dress, a red one, since he always loved me in red. Red, to her ex's wedding as his special guest. You're wearing red to your ex's wedding where you'll give a speech about your relationship? Sloane, God, you're being so possessive. It's just a wedding. Grow up. Here's what Sloane didn't know. I know Ivy's cousin, Garrett. We play basketball together every Thursday. Been friends for like 2 years. Sloane's never met him because she thinks my basketball nights are boring guy stuff and never comes. So I did what any rational person would do. I said, "Have a great time," and immediately texted Garrett. "Hey man, random question. You going to your cousin's wedding next week?" "Yeah, why? Need a plus one?" "Actually, yeah, just broke up with Jenna." "Why? You trying to crash?" "We something like that. Long story. Trust me, it'll be worth it." You son of a, is this about Sloane? I saw the Instagram post about her being the special guest. Ivy's been crying about it for days. Wait, what? Ivy's been crying? Dude, she had no idea. Tristan just announced it. Said his first love needed to be honored at their wedding. Ivy's too deep in wedding planning to bail now. Her parents already spent like $30K. Me, I'm your plus one. Don't tell anyone. Done. This is gonna be epic. But here's the thing. I wasn't going to just show up. No. If Sloane wanted to play the special guest card, I'd play my own cards. See, Garrett's family owns a tech company. His older sister Piper, 30, is the CMO. Gorgeous, successful, drives a Tesla, the whole package. We've met a few times at Garrett's parties, always got along great, but she's way out of my league. I called Garrett back. Hypothetically, is Piper seeing anyone? Why? I need a favor. A big one. Oh my God, you want to bring my sister as your date to make Sloane jealous. You absolute madman. Will you ask her? Already texting her. She says, hold on. She says, is this about that tacky witch who's wearing red to my cousin's wedding? Absolutely. What time should I pick him up? I love Piper. The week leading up to the wedding, Sloane was insufferable. She practiced her speech every night, loudly. It included gems like, Tristan taught me what passion really means. Our love was like a wildfire that had to burn out so he could find his calm. I'll always be his first, and that's a bond nobody can break. She bought 3 different red dresses, spent $400 on the final one. Got her hair professionally done the morning of, nails, makeup, the works. Kept asking if she looked memorable. Me, you'll definitely be remembered. Sloane, I know you're upset, but this is closure for me. For us, you'll see. She left at noon. The wedding was at 3 p.m. At 2 p.m., Piper pulled up in her white Tesla. Yes, white. She knew exactly what she was doing. She looked incredible. Elegant navy blue dress, subtle but expensive jewelry, the kind of confidence that makes everyone turn their heads. Ready to watch some chaos? I'm reconsidering everything. Too late. Garrett already told me about the speech. I brought popcorn. Literally, it's in my purse. We arrived at 2:45. The ceremony was outdoors. Beautiful setup. I spotted Sloane immediately, standing at the front in her bright red dress, talking to Tristan. She was touching his arm, laughing. Ivy was standing 10 feet away, looking miserable in her wedding dress. Then Sloane saw me. Her face went from confusion to shock to rage in about 2 seconds. But she couldn't say anything because the music started. She had to stand there in her red dress, watching me sit down with Piper. Piper, absolute legend that she is, chose that moment to whisper something in my ear and laugh. I have no idea what she said. I was too busy watching Sloane's face turn the same color as her dress. The ceremony was tense. Ivy kept shooting looks at Sloane. Tristan seemed oblivious. When the officiant asked if anyone objected, I swear 5 people turned to look at Sloane. Then came the reception, the speeches. Update 1. The reception was where everything imploded. So we're all seated, and wouldn't you know it, the special guest table was right next to the family tables. Garrett, absolute mastermind, had arranged our seats so we were directly in Sloane's line of sight. Sloane kept trying to get my attention, but Piper was putting on an Oscar-worthy performance. She was touching my arm, laughing at my jokes, doing that thing where she'd lean in close to talk because the music was loud. Sloane was fuming. Then came speech time. Best man went first. Normal stuff. Maid of honor, super sweet. Then Tristan takes the mic. Tristan, before we continue, I want to invite a very special person to speak. Someone who shaped who I am today. My first love, Sloane. The room went quiet. Not silent, but that awkward quiet where everyone's whispering. Ivy's mom actually gasped. Ivy herself looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. Sloane strutted up there in her red dress, took the mic, and started. Tristan and I had something that most people never experience. A love so intense it couldn't last, but it burned so bright that it lit the path to where he is today. Someone at Ivy's family table goes, "Are you kidding me?" Sloane continued. I knew Tristan's body before he knew it himself. Record scratch. Did she just dreams, his fears, his desires? We explored everything together. Everything. Piper whispered, is she giving a wedding speech or writing erotica? I was his first everything. First kiss, first love, first, she paused dramatically. Everything. Ivy's dad stood up. The DJ actually started slowly turning the music up. Sloane, completely oblivious, kept going. Even now when he looks at me, I see that fire, that connection that never really dies. Ivy is lucky to have the man I helped create. That's when Ivy's sister Gemma lost it. Gemma? Okay, that's enough. She stormed up, grabbed the mic from Sloane. How dare you stand there in a red dress talking about sleeping with the groom at his wedding? I was honoring their journey. You were marking territory like a dog. The music cut out completely. Everyone was watching. That's when Ivy stood up, walked over to Tristan, and in the calmest voice said, "You let her do this? At our wedding?" "Babe, it's just, she's important to my story." "Have your story?" "Your story? What about our story?" She turned to Sloane. "Get out." "Excuse me, Tristan invited me. And I'm uninviting you. Get out." Sloane looked at Tristan, expecting him to defend her. He just stood there like a deer in headlights. Then she saw me again. Really saw me. And Piper. And the way Piper's hand was on my knee. "Sloane? Really? You brought her?" She stormed over to our table. "You think bringing some random bimbo makes you look good?" Piper, calm as anything. "Bimbo? I have 2 master's degrees and run a company. You just gave a speech about being the groom's ex at his wedding. Who's the bimbo?" The entire room was watching. Phones were out. Someone was definitely live streaming. Sloane to me, "We're leaving, now." "I'm not going anywhere with you." "Sloane, I'm your girlfriend." "Are you? Because you've spent 2 weeks preparing to publicly declare your love for another man. At his wedding, that his wife didn't know about." "It wasn't like that." Garrett stood up. "It was exactly like that. We all just watched it." Then Ivy's mom chimed in. "Security, please escort this woman out." "You can't kick me out, Tristan." But Tristan was too busy getting screamed at by Ivy's dad to notice. Security arrived. 2 big guys. "Securam, we need you to leave." "This is insane. My name? Tell them." "Have a great time." She was escorted out, screaming the whole way. The entire wedding watched. Someone started slow clapping, then everyone joined in. Update 2. The rest of the wedding was chaotic. Ivy ended up leaving with her sister after throwing her ring at Tristan. The reception continued because, well, $30K was already spent, but it turned into basically a family reunion with an open bar. Piper and I spent the rest of the night talking to Garrett's family. Everyone wanted to know the story. Piper was an absolute champion. making sure everyone knew that Sloane had planned this special guest thing without ever considering how it would affect Ivy. But here's where Sloane's entitlement went nuclear. She waited in the parking lot for 3 hours. When we finally left around 11 p.m., she was sitting on my car. "We need to talk." "We really don't. You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself. You brought another woman to hurt me." "Piper, actually, I volunteered when I heard what you were doing to my cousin. Your Ivy? The bride? The one whose wedding you just destroyed?" Sloane went pale. You planned this. I found out your special guest role was news to the bride, that Tristan blindsided her, that you were going to stand up there in a red dress and talk about your sex life with the groom. It was romantic. It was psychotic. You don't understand our connection. I understand perfectly. You're still in love with him. That's not, I chose you. No, he chose someone else. I was your consolation prize. She started crying. Not sad tears, angry tears. Sloane, 3 years. You're throwing away 3 years. You threw it away when you decided to make another man's wedding about your past relationship. Where am I supposed to go? Not my problem. See, here's the thing. The apartment? Mine. I inherited it from my uncle 2 years before I met Sloane. She moved in, never paid rent, just utilities and groceries sometimes. I'd been fine with it because I loved her. Past tense. Piper drove me home. Sloane followed in her car, screaming through the window at red lights. Real stable behavior. When we got to my apartment, Sloane tried to follow us in. Me, your stuff will be in boxes by Monday. Your sister can pick them up. You can't just kick me out. Actually, I can. You're not on the lease, you don't pay rent, and you just publicly declared your love for another man. We're done. I'll call the cops. Please do. I'm sure they'd love to hear about you stalking us from the wedding, following us home, and trying to force entry into his apartment. This isn't over. It was, in fact, over. She tried everything over the next few days. Had her mom call me, I explained the speech. Her mom apologized to me. Had her friends blow up my phone. I sent them the video someone posted online. They went quiet. Tried to get into the apartment when I was at work. I'd changed the locks Monday morning. Posted on social media that I was abusive. Piper posted the wedding video in response. Sloane deleted everything. The best part? Tristan called me Wednesday. Tristan, bro, can you talk to Sloane? She won't stop calling me. Me, how's that my problem? She's your girlfriend. Ex. She became my ex the moment she agreed to give that speech. Ivy left me. Good for Ivy. This is all your fault. Why did you bring Piper? Why did you invite your ex to give a speech about your relationship at your wedding? It was supposed to be beautiful. It was supposed to be your wedding to Ivy, not a tribute to Sloane. He hung up. Final update. So it's been 2 weeks since the wedding disaster, and the entitlement just keeps escalating. Sloane moved back in with her parents, but she didn't go quietly. Oh no. She tried one more massive manipulation. She contacted my employer, told them I was emotionally unstable, and she was concerned about my mental health affecting my work. Thank God my boss is cool and knows me well. He called me in, showed me the email, and asked what was going on. I showed him the wedding video. He literally said, "Your ex did what at a wedding?" and told me to let him know if she escalated further. But the real nuclear moment came last Thursday. I get a text from an unknown number with a photo. It's Sloane and Tristan. In bed. Selfie style. The message, "Thanks for setting us free to be together again." I forwarded it to Ivy with, "Thought you should know." Ivy forwarded it to her divorce lawyer. See, here's what Sloane didn't know. Tristan had signed a prenup. A brutal one. Ivy's family has money, serious money. The prenup stated that infidelity voids everything. He gets nothing. And that photo, dated and time-stamped, that's evidence. Ivy called me, "Thank you. My lawyer says this is exactly what we needed. Me sorry about your wedding. Best thing that could have happened. Imagine if I'd found out after kids." But Sloane wasn't done. She showed up at my apartment yesterday with Tristan. They were officially together and wanted to clear the air. "Sloane, we wanted you to hear it from us. We're engaged. It's been 2 weeks. When you know, you know. Didn't you know with Ivy 6 months ago? That was different. We're soulmates. Me cool. Congrats. They seemed disappointed I wasn't upset. Also, Ivy's family is suing me. Could you tell them we weren't together until after the wedding? But you were. You literally sent me proof. That was just one mistake. That you photographed and sent to me to hurt me. Come on, bro code. The bro code? You mean like not inviting your ex to give a speech about your relationship at your wedding? They left. But not before Sloan tried one more thing. I left some jewelry in the apartment, my grandmother's ring. You mean the $50 ring from that vintage store? I have it in the donation box. It's worth thousands. I was with you when you bought it. I have the receipt. It was $47.99. She actually tried to push past me to get into the apartment. I just closed the door. Last I heard through the gossip network, Ivy's family is taking Tristan for everything. He's moved back in with his parents. Sloan is working retail because her social media influencer career, 500 followers, isn't paying. They're fighting constantly because neither has money. Tristan's been caught texting other girls already. Sloan messages me from fake accounts about once a week. Meanwhile, Piper and I have actually been hanging out, not dating, just friends, but she's awesome. She sent Ivy a spa package as a congratulations on dodging that bullet gift. They're friends now. My favorite part? Sloan's mom sent me a fruit basket with a card that said, "I'm sorry my daughter is an idiot. You deserved better." The karma was swift and brutal. She wanted to be the special guest at her ex's wedding. She got to be the reason the marriage ended before it started. She wanted to publicly declare their connection. Now everyone knows she's the woman who destroyed a wedding in a red dress. And Tristan? He wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Now he's got no cake, no wife, no money, and a girlfriend who's only with him because I wouldn't take her back. Perfect match, honestly. As for me, I'm doing great. Apartment's never been more peaceful. Joined a new gym, started taking cooking classes where I met Layla, who thinks the wedding story is hilarious, and honestly, best thing Sloan ever did was show me exactly who she was. In public, on video, in a red dress.